What's up, everyone? This is Nate, and I am back with another Out of the Theater review. Now, I just got home from checking out the latest Jason Statham action movie directed by David Ayer, and it is called The BeeKeeper. I'm going to give you a little bit of a preface before I get into the review, and then I'll give you my thoughts on the movie. But before I do, if you would, please consider subscribing to the channel. Make sure you go ahead, hit the bell icon. That way you get notified every time new reviews drop. Every Friday, a new Out of the Theater review will drop every weekend this year. So if you're interested in those, make sure to subscribe. Of course, give me a thumbs up down below. That way the video, more people will see it, get my opinion. If, like these reviews, give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment down below. If this is a movie you're looking forward to, or if you saw it, did you like it? Did you not like it? I want to know your thoughts. All right, here's my little preface for this review. I am a Jason Statham fan. I like his movies. Not every single one, but I would say if I watched 20 Jason Statham movies, I would probably like 80% of them. So I am a fan of his. I think his movies are fun. I like him. I like his charisma. There's very few that I really don't like. Going into the movie, I was looking forward to it just because of that. Now, Jason Statham was just in Expendables 4 last year. That was one of the worst movies that I saw all year, and he wasn't it. So they're not always hits. So I was looking forward to this. It looked interesting from the trailers. I had a good time with this movie. I had a really good time with this movie. There are pros and there are cons. And I will be fair and I will be honest. The main thing I want to get to you guys is I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was very entertaining. It was a lot of fun. It very, very much felt like a late 80s, early 90s action movie in good ways and bad. So let's start with the good. Of course, Jason Statham, a good role for him. Minimal dialogue, doesn't have to talk much, man of few words, man of many punches. Does a lot of action in this movie. He's still really good at it. You can tell he's a little older now, but he's still very good in the action scenes. But it was a really solid role for him. Also, I like a lot of the cast in general. This Jeremy Irons is in this. Minnie Driver pops up in a little role. Josh Hutcherson is in this as the bad guy. And, Felicia Rashad, she's in it in the beginning. But I thought it was a really solid cast for this type of movie. So that was a positive as well. And for me, one thing, we do the Action Movie Guys podcast. If you are someone who has been following us or you watch our reviews here on Geeks and Flix, we also have a podcast, me and Alex, called the Action Movie Guys. And this is the kind of movie that would 100% be in the Action Movie Guys arena. It is just a pure action film. And if you ever listen to our episodes, which you should, I love R-rated bloody violence. You already know. I'm not here for... I like PG-13 action movies sometimes too. But give me blood. Give me gore. I wouldn't say this gory, but there's some gnarly scenes. We're talking about fingers getting chopped off. We're talking about people getting shot in the face and blood is coming out. Without spoiling anything, someone may get cut in half. I don't know. And it's pretty awesome, and I was here for it. So, bloody violence, R-rated, good performance from Statham, right in his wheelhouse. As far as the negatives, these are negatives. I think a certain type of person may not love this movie because there is a certain layer of cheese on it, okay? There is some cheesy dialogue. It definitely, like I said, it has that 80s, 90s style, which means it's very, high concept. There's the secret organization thing, and they're literally called beekeepers, which, if you think about it, it's really stupid, but it works within the movie that they're telling. You just have to kind of go with it. So as long as you're okay with that style of movie, which I'm 1,000,000% okay with, I think you may not find it as a negative, but I can see people finding it as a negative, especially younger people who maybe didn't grow up on 90s action movies or 80s action movies that are a lot more over the top than some of the modern stuff. I could see them being like, I don't love that. But I was okay with it, but I just want to throw it out there. It could be a negative for others. But yeah, there's definitely some cheesy dialogue. There's some characters that are very over the top. I will say that. Mostly bad guys. They're very over the top. And, but I feel like most of it's intentional. When I was watching it, the theater, it wasn't packed. But people were chuckling. I chuckled a number of times. I think you're supposed to. They know this is kind of silly. But then when the action hits, it's pretty hard hitting. So I don't know. I thought this movie was really fun. I enjoyed the action scenes. As far as, Statham goes, he's really good in it. Could I see a BeeKeeper 2? Yes. And would I go watch it? Yes. I thought this movie was fun. It's not perfect, obviously. It is a straightforward, just 90s style action thriller with a layer of cheese on top. So with that being said, honestly, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. That's an 8 though. I could see an argument against it. I don't really care though. For me, this is right in my wheelhouse, the type of movie I like to go to a theater to watch. Lots of hand-to-hand combat, explosions, you get gunfights, you get a little bit of everything with Statham. You know what I mean? And I like that. It's not just all shooting. It's a little bit of everything. That's how I like my action film. So that's my score, 8 out of 10. I enjoyed The BeeKeeper. I recommend it, especially if you love action movies. And if you love 90s action movies, double recommendation. So that's my review for this week, is The BeeKeeper. I will be back next week with another Out of the Theater review. Until then, take it easy.